Who gets up this early in the morning? And a warm welcome to one and all. If this is your first time here, this is a strange world of the Scruffy trader, where I'm trying to make trading easy, maybe show you a trick or two along the way. So if that sounds good, do find me on Twitter for any updates, smash that little subscribe button, and we'll bash on. So what we're talking about today? Well, I'm continuing with Morningstar. It's currently 6:05 in the morning, and I'm just about to start looking to go to market. Now, the idea, if you haven't seen this before, is just to build a small account up between 6 and 8 a.m. each morning for roughly around 10 pips each day. And what you're doing is you're compounding the wins as you go. Very, very simple series. So how are we doing and what we're looking at today? Well, we're doing okay, to be honest. I'll just pull this down. We started with a 350 balance. We smashed 400. So we're now into the 400 barrier. So next one is obviously 5. And we're trying to get this up to 700. In other words, double the account. Now at the minute, it's 14% up from 11 positions. There isn't a bank in the land will pay you 14% in less than a month on 350. And that's the whole purpose of this series. It's a series of forward testing. And it's a passion project I started about a year ago. I did do it on the DAX where it works quite well. And some of the guys wanted it to be Forex. And that's what this is, because I'm only looking at cable and euro dollar. It's slightly slower, but the seeds are there. And the passion project part of it was that there is an older version on the DAX that it's sold for a ridiculous amount of money. And it's based on kind of the rotations of the market. But it's nothing more than a coin toss. And thanks. And it lost more than it won. So I wanted to set out to see if I could beat it or find a system that would work operating roughly the same time, because you guys have jobs. And that's where it all started. And anyway, here we are. So let us flick the screens on. What you are looking at is a journal, by the way. I do implore you keep a journal. They do help you roadmap where you've been and where you want to go. In other words, your targets will show you where you want to go, and the information down here shows you where you've been. And the reason being, you need to know. Because too many times you forget about your failures and you only concentrate on the winners, when it's really the failures you need to iron out. And that's what a journal does for you. It shows you what's been going on. Okay.
If you can't take a little bloody nose, maybe you ought to go back home and crawl under your bed.
So my chart of choice is cable today, which is this one. Now what we've seen, we saw a wonderful move up yesterday. Then the budget came, which was the kind of collapse. And it's kind of just meandered about. It's decided that it's not really going anywhere. But as you can see, this level here is being respected heavily. And the candles are getting smaller and it's showing signs. So there's a reasonable opportunity that it's going to stay within this arena. So I'm quite happy with that. And as I say, I'm only looking for around 10 pips. And we see it's push, push, push. It's trying to go higher, but it's not going lower either. So this is good. So this is in a nice place to start. So what I'll do is I'll leave the camera and then I'll come back to you when I'm done. Okay, guys, I need the camera to do some work, so I'll come back to this later. I'm just going to let it play out. And it looks bad. Made a couple of schoolboy errors, as we always do. I'm still in a case of account preservation and trying to keep her happy as well. Failing miserably.
I am happy.
Hard work being married, you know. Anyway, what's happened this morning? Scaled in and out of it to get some money, as you can see. It's actually done more than its 10 pips. And I had an inkling it was going to force up into here. And I kind of still do. As an overall view. However, it's doing what it always does. It flushes out. And that's what this is. And what you can see is it's pushed down and it's just chopping and chopping. As long as it stays in and around the arenas, I'm happy. Just pull this back to the hour just so I can show you something. Take these out. You can see a swing point there. Now, I often tell you these will test 2. Well, it's definitely testing 1. And the other one's down here, out the way. All right. So I've got like a barrier here that I want to keep an eye on. And that's what I'm doing. I'm watching at the moment. So I want to see this collapse. Half expected to bounce off there and then come back. Basic theory of what I'm trying to achieve. If it runs much further, I might be looking to get out of this. But at the moment, yeah, I'm sitting in heat, but I'm not overly worried. It's well within the ATR tolerances of the day because it'll push down, it'll move back up, all of this sort of thing. And you've got to be prepared for that. All right. As long as it stays within its daily range, I'm not worried about it being red. It just means that it looks red on the screen and it looks horrible, you know. But it can also do it the other way where it can stay blue. And you're just sitting waiting on it to try and get higher. Principles are the same. Gotta let your trades breathe. Anyway, I'll come back to you when it's done.
Well, we're waiting.
Okay, guys, just checking on this. And let's see what's been up to, eh? Well, there's no P&L on the screen, so that's a good sign of sorts. It is now kicking into place what I had a vision of earlier on this morning. And there we go. 10.55. Now, our initial position was 65p. I was scaling in and out of this thing. And collectively, we've done more than we need. So I'm quite pleased with that. And I will increase again tomorrow. But what does this look like on the sheet? Well, let's have a little look, shall we? So if I pull this up, we are 24th today. Let's just see. What I'll do is if I freeze the pins, it should keep the top on. There we go. So we started with 402.22. I'm still keeping the risk the same. We were at 65p. So collectively, rather than fill everything in, I'm just going to put it down as one position of 10.55. And we were cable. We are still doing the morning. Well, we're always doing the morning star. We were long today. I wasn't as tired today. Getting a little bit better. But I'm still doing account preservation. The idea today was a retrace. That was where it came from. And tomorrow we'll be edging up. So what have we taken away from this? Well, up until I get this to £1 a position, it's always going to be account preservation. That is just get in, get out, build it up, grind it. But try not to go back to market. Now, I did this morning, and it could have cost me daily. However, it stayed within the parameters, the ATRs, etc. Now, as this account grows, and I get to a pound a position, I'll be able to break positions, and I'll go back to 50p and be able to stage. That's when the money will come. And when it does go against me, it doesn't matter, because I'll have a stage point, which when it comes back up, will start paying me, and it'll gather pace. But all in all, a few schoolboy errors along the way, because trading small accounts is difficult. What you got to do is kind of hold your nerve and trust your trade. And that's what I did this morning. I had faith in what was going to happen. And, well, I do that all the time, to be honest, even with my own sort of big accounts and the 5%ers that you see me trade. If you're interested in the 5%ers, there is a discount link below, and they've got a fabulous new program called Freestyle. It's worth checking out. It really is, and it's well worth its money. Anyway, cut long story short, I'll touch on that with coffee at Scruff at the weekend. What I'm driving at about trusting your trades is, don't just dive in. Don't go willy-nilly. Have a plan. Pick a bias, regardless of what direction it is. Look for a setup that equals that bias. And then just get out at a decent profit. That's it. Trading ain't difficult. And the idea of this forward test and series is to show you how to build an account and just gradually grow it up. Now, I have been getting it kicked into me saying, it's a waste of time and everything. Is it? Because I bet you this account makes more than yours. And why? Because I'm planning this one. And I know that's a little bit naughty, but yeah, you want to see the way I'm spoken to at times. It's ridiculous. Some people just need to grow up. Anyway, I'm going to the pub. I've had a great day today, and I'll do it again tomorrow. So as always, guys, do what you love, and the money will follow. See you all in the next one.